Like, yeah. I said, me and all my family, we about to go up.
Splyce here is doing a really good 3-man push. They're pushing with court. They have a guy court. They have a guy pushing small door and
I'm simply out here wasting my time. Hey, wasting my time. But I just gotta let you know that really I've been out here grinding, working. I ain't wasting no time. Hey.
What up? This is Sterling here, bringing you another Halo breakdown. This will be another installment to our What Happened series. We're going to be going over some Optic versus Splyce gameplay on Fathom Capture the Flag from the 2K tournament. We're going to be covering how Optic lost this flag game 3-0 and what they could have done better. So let's get this started. Right now we have Frosty top mid, while Optic is going to do a 3-man push into the base. They have the numbers advantage. Snakebite is going to end up being in the garage, and Lethal and Roll 2 are going to be pushing into the base. Meanwhile, Renegade has snuck into Optic's base at this time. So 5 key things happened that contributed to Splyce getting this first flag cap. So the first one right here was the flag route that Lethal is going to take. When you have a player garage, you should most of the time be running this flag towards the pit. Or if you want to take a long route, go elbow and go either to the nades or treehouse. But most of the time you want to be running this flag pit for a faster route when you have a player in the garage. And you should only take this bottom mid more so when they are spawning garage. Or if you feel like you have the timing when they're spawning silo and have like sufficient cover from the guy top mid, then do so. But Lethal trying to take this flag bottom mid at the moment created a delay in timing, because if he ran this flag pit, he has Frosty top mid here to take out any players that's going to put themselves in a jeopardized position, and he also has Snakebite right here in garage to put pressure on any players trying to take out Lethal as he runs that flag. But now tossing this flag here is going to create a delay in timing for Optic. So after they get the slays, Lethal's going to continue running the flag, but now Frosty ends up leaving top mid to try to chase down Renegade as he's running this flag in the old splinters. And Snakebite kind of puts himself out of position here. Ideally, he would want to be more so on this garage side, so he has a better angle on the silo player. But now he's kind of put himself in the small door, and now Lethal's going to be taken out here. And as we see, Snakebite doesn't have a really good angle. Snakebite should have had a better awareness of timing at this point, because someone just spawned behind him, and due to how long there was a delay in that flag run, he should have known like someone's probably going to spawn behind them, because he's more so in the middle of the map at this point, and Silo is being blocked from the battle that's going on here. So this guy was definitely going to spawn over here on the elbow. So Snakebite is going to get melted from behind and get taken out. He was able to make this guy one shot. Frosty was able to clean him up, and this was a huge 1v1 battle here. Unfortunately, Frosty was unable to win it. If he did, Optic would have probably gotten this recovery. So moving on to what happened over here on the court. So Roll 2 right here, after recharging his shields, this was the third key play here, was him not moving this flag like maybe porch, or he can either toss it in the porch or toss it in the window, or just grab the flag and move it himself into a safer location. But he didn't do it, and the second player who could have done it was this player right here. But instead, they were both trying to converge on this Shotzi player, or on Shotzi that Frosty was calling out. And now we're going to see how this is going to be a great detriment to the Optic team. So as they double back after they kill him, I mean, they accomplished delaying this flag getting advanced, but in doing so, they made it harder on themselves to move this flag further. Splyce was able to get the camo, but Optic was able to take them out. But due to the loss of timing, now Splyce has height positioning on them. With that height positioning, Splyce was able to take out Snakebite here with the flag, and now that flag gets further into the bottom of mid instead of getting closer into their base. And him being up top also causes roll 2 to get out of positioning.
Hey everyone, Callus here. Just wanted to give you guys some options for Optic gaming. So just like Thurling was saying, Optic really should have prioritized touching Splyce's flag on the court and moving it just a little bit closer to their own base, if anything, just to give themselves more time. So, this puts them in a big dilemma. They could have held hands and done the offensive play and gone for the double re. They also could have done a hybrid play where they play for both flags by keeping one player in the garage watching Splyce's flag and then having the other player move over and get the return. But since they didn't get a touch earlier, that's gone. This is why I think they're both holding forward here, Royal 2 and Snakebite, and they're just desperating this touch because no one got the touch earlier. And this is why I got all scrappy. So as a defensive option, maybe if they kept one player in the garage, they could have, battled this guy top red bridge while the front player goes in and touches the flag, and they wouldn't have had this really bad fumble. That was unfortunate, but oh well. Alright, back to Thurlian.
So the next fourth huge play here that happens is Frosty and Lito are trying to collapse on this flag carrier here, and they see two players, the porch and the person trying to go for the flag. They were able to take out the flag carrier, and I like how Lito right here thrusters back to stay alive. But what I don't like is him being weak, going over here and trying to look top mid to clean up this guy and completely leaving himself vulnerable. Now Shotzi's going to get the cleanup on him. Shotzi also gets the kill on Frosty, and now Splyce is going to continue running this flag. And this is huge right here because Lito and Frosty both dying means that no one is on the left side of the map. No one's on securing the garage or their treehouse. And we're about to see how that's going to have a huge cause and effect here for Optic. So Snakebite off spawn tries to go for this flag. This is the next huge thing that happens here is Roll 2 is trying to do his own thing and do a separate thing and try to go for the flag recov while Snakebite's trying to secure a standoff. Optic should realize, okay, this flag is not, we're not going to be able to get this flag and get the recov. We should just make sure we secure the standoff situation so Splyce doesn't get an easy score, and then from there try to do a team break and get that flag back in the standoff situation. So as we saw from the last play how Lito and Frosty died, now Splyce is going to be flooding the treehouse side of Optic's side of the map, and they're going to be able to take out Snakebite here and get this recov. On the other hand, we'll just watch this play real quick. So Snakebite's going to die, and they're going to get this recov. I want to go back real quick and talk about Roll 2's play here. So Roll 2 rotates, and his play could have worked out of the focus of like, okay, like maybe we can get this recov. This is a 1v1 battle here because 3 players on Splyce goes to Optic side of the map. So he has a 1v1 with Renegade. If he's able to win it, then he's probably going to be able to get this recov here and reset the game back to no one getting has a possibility of getting caps at the moment. But Renegade gets the best of him, gets a few shots, and now Roll 2 is trying to get away. Renegade closes the distance and cleans up Roll 2. So that's essentially what happened in the first cap. They got the recov, they jump in, grab the flag, and that's pretty much the first one. Frosty was weak here, so he gets taken out pretty easily. He was one shot. So we're going to move on to the second flag. So in this point of the game, this is what we call the weapon phase or the power-up phase. So Camel's about to come up here around the 750-ish, 747-ish kind of area. So what Optic could do here, and what high-level teams usually do, is create a shell, is what I like to call it. So a shell, we're going to be breaking that down more in a different video, but what the shell concept essentially is creating a protective exterior around a point of interest, and a point of interest could be a power-up or a weapon, it could be a player, it could be an objective, such as a flag or stronghold. So ideally right here, I would like Roll 2 to jump up the top mid and secure this red treehouse while no one of Splyce has it secured yet. and just maybe chill back here, or he can be here, or be in this attic window and see if anyone's transitioning from the garage or their Splyce's flag to their treehouse. But instead, row 2 decides to go bottom mid. Frosty's going to rotate into the blue treehouse and get that secured. And the saving grace here would be Snakebite when he spawns here. Since row 2 didn't secure that red treehouse, would be Snakebite going over here to the red tree. So ideally it would have been row 2 securing this tree, and once a Snakebite spawns, he can either jump to top mid and get that camo, as Frosty has blue tree and row 2 has red tree, or he can spawn here and rotate to the red tree and bump row 2 from red tree to top mid, so he'll be the one getting camo as Frosty has that blue tree area. But instead, Snakebite jumps to top mid here, and it seems like there was a bit of a miscommunication because it seemed like Frosty and Snakebite were going for the camo. And now, because we don't have this red tree secured, Snakebite's going to get easily average here as he gets the camo. Frosty's going to be able to take out this player here, but he's going to be cleaned up from the porch player, which is Eco. While this is happening, Shotzi has been in their treehouse for a while. Frosty knew that Shotzi was here. He communicated to Lito, and Lito was trying to hunt him down, and Lito did kind of take a bad route, but maybe he misinterpreted what Frosty was communicating. But Shotzi was able to get to Optic's side at this point. So we're going to watch this play. Frosty gets taken out here from the porch, and I really don't like row 2's play here, because one, he already went bottom mid. I think that's a bad play, and then now this play becomes even worse when he tries to tunnel and push this guy porch when he should know that, okay, Lito's been on Splyce's silo for quite some time, so the only places that Splyce should be at should be their flag or their garage, you know, deducing from where Optic is controlling right now. So he goes for this player and he ends up getting averaged. I want to go back real quick and go to Lito, because he's the last person who is in this play. He tries to hunt down Shotzi, he gets away, he cleans up this guy top mid, and he sees Shotzi get the flag, and he's able to bring him to a one-shot, but he was unable to clean him up. There was some pressure coming from his backside, and he dies, and now all of Optic is dead. Snakebite comes off spawn, but he essentially can't do anything because it's a 1v3, then 1v4. So this is essentially the second cap for Splyce. A little bit of fumble there, but it's fine. So let's move on to that third flag cap. So in this situation, Optic just cleaned this guy up bottom mid, and now they have a 3v2 advantage. 3 of them to these 2 players here. And it seems like in row 2 in Snakebite's mind that there was only one player here on the silo. So they're like maybe thinking, oh, let's push on him and collapse. But now row 2 gets weakened by these nades, and now both of them are going to get cleaned up. So it would have been better if, like, row 2 maybe just chilled on the porch and played a little bit more patient, or instead of sprinting, just walk up to that place so he has a easier time maybe evading those nades. And second part was the backman, Lito. When they had this number advantage, instead of like focusing on those 2 players, let's get some more map control. Like, let's not get trapped in our base. So he's should take advantage and push their treehouse and maybe get top mid control, or just chill in their treehouse, or get to the opponent's silo if he feels that's fit at the moment. But once row 2 and Snakebite dies, he's still stuck in the base, and now Splyce is going to take advantage of this and push in for the collapse. Frosty realizes this, and once he spawns, he's thruster sliding across to the porch to secure that. So they have a Lito being in this area, the garage area, and now they have Frosty here. So if these players push up porch, he could be here to defend that area. And Splyce does a really good job here. They're going to do a 3-man collapse with Renegade coming from the very right extremity of the treehouse. Next player that spawns for Optic is Snakebite right here. And Shotzi throws a perfect nade right as Snakebite spawns. And Snakebite right here had an opportunity to maybe react here. It was a very tough situation, but once he sees this nade, I think it would have been good for him to thrust her backwards towards his team and create a 4v3 scenario here because Roll 2 just spawned. And then worry about this backside player coming on the flank. They should maybe have enough timing by then. And they should be able to try to anticipate that Renegade's either going to be pushing from the extremity like he is, or maybe he's top mid. But Snakebite tries to thrust her slide forward, and now he's weakened from that nade, and it's going to be an easy cleanup for Renegade. So Splyce here is doing a really good 3-man push. They're pushing from porch. They have a guy court. They have a guy pushing small door, and they're able to take out Roll 2 and Lethal here. And now the only player alive is Frosty. He was able to win his battle right there on the porch, but this is a 2v1, and Eco was able to just hold Frosty off, and that's all he needs to do. He doesn't need to kill him. He just needs to delay. So now Splyce is going to be running this flag, and it's pretty much game over. Boom. So there you have it. So that's what happened in this game. I hope you guys learned at least one thing, and maybe hopefully I solved some or gave some answers to why Optic lost this game 3-0 if you were watching this game live on the stream and you're like, oh, what happened? I know Optic said that after the game they were all saying how they felt it was due to Splyce's ability to overextend a lot more than them that they were able to win this game, and I guess that was partly true on how Shotzi was able to sneak to their side of the map for the second flag, and how Renegade snuck over to their base in the beginning of the game. But overall, I felt like it was more so their mistakes, multiple mistakes that all accumulated to why Splyce was able to win this game 3-0 more so than what Splyce did. And Splyce was a great team to capitalize on your mistakes. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like the video, subscribe. Content is going to be released every week. Peace and love, brothers and sisters. Why limit yourself when you have the ability to transcend?